Good morning. I am Susan Eileen, author of the Dictionary of Missing Time, and this is Coach Joe, and together he and I wrote From Nada to Prada.
Good morning, everyone.
And today we're talking to you about the three R's of our Embrace Recovery program, and that is rebuilding, recovery, and resilience. And the way I want you to think about this is this addresses the three time zones of your life. Rebuilding goes and addresses those issues from your past, the shaky foundation that you may have, maybe some trauma related issues. The recovery is working on the present, and resilience is planning for the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Dr. Gabor Mate and then Susan Eileen has said this as well. Addiction is a poor response to pain. And so when you rebuild and work through the trauma and what else led to the addictive behavior or the addictive substance, that lays the foundation. Susan Eileen uses that word a lot, but lays the foundation, which is a great word, and then go through the recovery process. And then the resilience is helping you find the tools, the strengths that are within you to have a better response to the challenges of life, because life is full of challenges. You're not going to be challenge free, but you'll be better equipped to have a better response to it.
And the reason why I focus on foundation so much is because we really have used a behavioral psychology approach to this program, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs focuses on that foundation, which happens to be sleep, housing, food, relationship security. Without that foundation, you can't level up. People are always talking about leveling up, but you can't level up on a shaky foundation, because every time you try, it will just crumble. And that's when the rock bottom comes in. So we help you cultivate skills and cultivate your talents in that rebuilding and recovery process. And in that process, you are building resilience for future challenges.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And you could almost add a fourth R to this, because something that is really big for the last year or so with Susan Eileen has been relationship.
Yes, relationship. Well, that is one of the tiers of the program, is relating, because the opposite of addiction is connection. So the goal with our program is not only building a life that you don't need to escape from, it's also helping you put that unity in community so that you have your tribe of people that will help you through future challenges. We are, as much as you might want to live on an island of isolation, it really doesn't work. Humans are not wired that way. We are wired for connection. And the research shows actually that good relationships will help you propel forward, will help you level up. And not only that, it's just rewarding to have a truly authentic, loving relationship, because often in addiction, we find ourselves in the dysfunctional, toxic relationships that we find ourselves having to leave behind once we decide to get healthy.
And so important, if you want to touch on this for a minute, is the fact that it can be a painful process
Yes.
to go through that, because you have to have more of the relationships that support your journey in recovery and less of the toxic ones. So tell about that.
Yes. So the people that I used with in active addiction, they were not people that were interested in getting sober. They were people that were still very much sick with the disease and very dysfunctional, because you really won't realize how dysfunctional you are in addiction until you're fully functional on the other side, and you can look back and go, wow, I really wasn't operating like as my highest self. But anyways, those people won't be coming with you, and those friend breakups can be painful. But do you want to stay stuck, or do you want hope in for the future? And realistically, you've got to want a better future for yourself more than you want those toxic people in your life.
Absolutely, absolutely, and something we've talked about a lot in meetings with as we work together is that the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of change.
Yes. Now, our nervous system is wired to keep us in a familiar hell instead of an unfamiliar heaven, which is why people get stuck so easily, because that's what our nervous system is designed to do. But realistically, the pain of staying the same is much greater than the pain of change, because the pain of change ends. Once the change is done, the pain ends. The pain of staying the same is never ending, and you get stuck in that never ending hallway of stress that I've talked about with Coach Joe. And I use that analogy from an old movie from the 80s, The Poltergeist, where you're running down the hallway and the hallway keeps getting longer. And that's what addiction is like. You keep thinking the pain of addiction is going to end somewhere, and it doesn't, because the only thing addiction actually gives you is the pain that you're trying to escape.
Absolutely. It's part of the Embrace Recovery process. 3 of the tiers have to do with equipping you to get out of that hallway and get out of that victim mentality.
Yes.
And see yourself in a different way.
And the longer you stay in that hallway, the unhealthier you're thinking. And like I said, you won't even really realize it till you're on the other side of it.
Absolutely.
But if you are facing these challenges, remember, addiction does have a 92% fatality rate. It's up there with various forms of cancer, because addiction does lead to jails, institutions, and death. It really does, unfortunately. And I guess I have been so vocal about this because it is a fatal disease. And it's something we need to take a lot more seriously as a society. If you would like to contact us, I'm Susan Eileen. My email is susandesigns707@gmail.com.
And you can reach me at Coach Joe at CoachJoePinito.com. Susan and I incorporated Embrace Recovery Coaching LLC. We are currently working with a web developer to put up a dedicated website to that business. In about 30 to 45 days, that should be up and running. But to get information now, go out to my website and you'll get all of the information about the program, about the curriculum, and reach out to us with additional questions. But the important thing is if you hit rock bottom, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 rock bottoms. At some point, the first step is to dig your heels in and say, I can't do this anymore.
Yes.
And reach out for help.
Yes.
And with that, we are going to let you folks go to have an amazing day, and we will be talking to you again soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.